And well, gang violence plagues major cities such as St. Louis and Chicago. But is this organized chaos leaving traces throughout the tri-states?
Community members, city officials, and law enforcement say this activity is on the rise. KHQA's David Amelotti joins us live in the studio. And David, I know you've spoken with community leaders and civic leaders. What are their concerns here?
Ross, Chief Rob Copley with the Quincy Police Department tells me that gang activity is very prevalent, as much as the early 90s when Quincy saw its first major push. Community members are concerned and community leaders are now speaking up about gang members traveling in and out of town. Everyone wants a solution to keep young people safe, but it will take our community becoming united.
And the pitchforks going up, the star, David, with the G inside of it.
The five-pointed star.
Basically what you're seeing is BPSN with the number 5.
Is a symbol for the Peace Stones.
The Black Peace Stones and the Gangster Disciples are just two gangs that have left their mark on Quincy. Some of the writing on the wall is more recent than other trails left behind. Reggie Coleman is the chairman of the City of Quincy Human Rights Commission and is one voice for a community who is fearful of openly discussing the rise of gang activity in Quincy.
I can tell you that in talking with members of the community, they say that there are people from other cities that are infiltrating the areas where they live, and that some of those people are gang members from places like Chicago, East St. Louis.
Someone who knows the streets of Quincy better than most is Officer Brian Martin with the Quincy Police Department. He has 17 years of experience studying, tracking, and bringing in gang members.
The five-pointed star is a symbol for the Peace Stones. What they'll do is they'll cross out the star and put their own Gangster Disciple moniker next to it as a sign of a disrespect to the Peace Stones.
Chief Rob Copley with the Quincy Police Department says gang members visiting Quincy has been an issue since he joined the force in 1980.
Especially in the area, St. Louis, Quad Cities, Springfield, or elsewhere, you know, family members, you know, since the advent of the vehicle, you know, people travel a lot, and we see gang members from all over, but predominantly we're seeing Chicago and Kansas City right now.
Copley says it's all colors, it's all ages, and all varieties.
We address them the same, whether it's a white motorcycle gang or currently black street gang. We have to address them very aggressively with boots on the ground.
Since the 90s, the QPD Street Crimes Unit stands at the forefront to combat gang violence.
They're not technically a gang unit. They're a unit that was designed to combat whatever the current problem was, whether it is gangs and drugs or whether it's a rash of robberies, burglaries, what have you.
Sergeant Jeff Nevin is an 18-year veteran with QPD. He says gang members operate all over town because they think it makes it more difficult for cops to track their products.
When I first started, it was crack. Marijuana is always one too. Meth became part of it. You know, it's what's ever hot. Heroin now. Heroin is moving all over the place now. Not in Quincy, but it's getting closer and closer.
It's not the members themselves transporting the goods for deals, it's children.
Youth are easy to convince. You know, if you've got a product that you want to sell or you've got a product you want to deliver, and you say, I'll give you $200 to run up the corner and drop this bag off, it's very tempting for a 12 or 13-year-old to take the $200 and run up to the corner.
So what's the fix? It certainly isn't an easy one, but Coleman says the first step needs to be communication.
The police department, the state's attorney's office, I would even go so far as to say the judges need to take the time to attend public meetings, to explain exactly what it is, their role, you know, talk about their role in law enforcement, and to make the effort to not profile.
By doing that is by gathering as much intel.
Moving forward, community members and law enforcement are putting a priority on working together, especially on youth development. Chief Copley says that QPD is looking into organizing a youth citizens police program. Multiple community programs are already in place, such as Teen Reach, an organization whose services and even transportation are free. Reporting live in the studio, David Amelotti, KHQA News.